Happy Friday, everyone, and welcome to the weekly recap number 147. Um, this is our last episode of 2023, and it is a special edition. I have two special guests, two community members, two Veeam 100 people. This is not their first time with us in the weekly recap. They've been with us before. Shane, if I remember, it was like a few months ago, and Tyler, you had the opportunity to join our weekly recap few months ago as well, but we were in Prague for the summit. Is that
That's right.
correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
I joined a couple months ago. Yeah, I think it was an October one,
Yeah.
or beginning of November or something like that. And then I think Tyler, you were in the Prague one in end of October, right?
Yeah, I got the lucky privilege of joining the Prague week recap. That's great.
So yeah, really happy to have you back, both of you. So for the ones that don't know you, maybe you can just give a short introduction about yourselves. What do you think?
Sure. I'm based in Kansas City, systems architect for a local school district here, Veeam Legend, and just an all-around community advocate.
Yeah, and I'm Tyler Jurgens. I'm based out of Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Veeam Legend as well. I'm also active in the community with running the VMUG here in Calgary, and part of one of the VUG leaders here in Canada. So happy to be here.
That's great. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you for taking the opportunity to be here with me. We're gonna discuss some great content. We have again a week full of content. We're gonna break the rule today. The community members share with us so much great content. It really makes it difficult for me week after week to choose. So today I was like, okay, we have a special guest edition. We have special guests. So let's just break the rule. Let's just,
It's the end of the year. We can do it,
yeah,
right?
Exactly. Throw caution to the wind, Madi.
There you go. So you ready to start?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so we are going to start. Let me share my screen in here. We're going to start with not this one. We're going to finish with it, that one. But we are going to start with one article from Jochen. This is number 4 from the series of backup strategies. And, he's talking about 3 fundamental backup methods in here: full, incremental, and differential backups. He's going and he's giving us some advantages and challenges when using each of those strategies. He's also talking about synthetic full backups, which combines elements of both full and incremental backups. And in the end, Jochen says that the key to optimal to an optimal data protection obviously is a combination of all these strategies. But I want to ask you both, what is your thought on this?
I guess I'll go first. So Joe, I just call him Joe. I don't really know how to say his full name. But this is the 4th in a series of posts that he has, and we've actually been communicating through some of his posts, kind of me playing a little devil's advocate on a couple of them, but having a great conversation. This is just really him going or sharing basically basics of a good foundation of how to implement a backup and disaster recovery strategy, a tiered approach, basically. I'm really enjoying the series of posts that he has. He has another one I think he just put out recently as well. So it's kind of where I'm at with that. Yeah. And one thing he does share in here is something I kind of forgot about, because Veeam doesn't do them, but in a previous backup solution I had, is differentials. He talks about differentials and the difference between those and incrementals. So differentials are changes since the last backup, but it's changes since the last full backup, whereas incrementals are changes since the last incremental change. So it was a good reminder of that. It's just a good series of posts, a lot of good information and reminders. And this is information he said he shares with new customers that he has. So really good stuff. I'm really enjoying the series.
Thank you, Shane, for that.
Yeah, I love how he goes into the deep, kind of a bit of a deep dive on what the different ones are, right? Like what's the difference between an incremental and a differential? Because when you're coming into backups brand new, you may not know that. So the fundamentals are great. What I really liked about his post here was discussing the synthetic fulls, how powerful of a full backup that can be. You're not reading all the data again from your disk. You're synthetically building that full backup from all the different data blocks in your current backup chain, and that's powerful. That's huge, because when you're working with some major VMs or major systems, that's a lot of data to read again if you're doing a full, like an active full backup. So the synthetic fulls are great. I love that he recapped that really well.
Thank you for that, Tyler. Yeah, I think all of it are really great points in here. And I really want to say, Johan, keep on doing what you're doing because we all enjoy your series. So yeah, thank you guys for sharing your opinions on that. So yeah, let's move forward. And this is actually from, I believe it's a new member, Kieron Bell. We haven't mentioned him in our weekly recap. So welcome to the weekly recap, Kieron Bell. I think that's the pronunciation. I hope I'm not wrong. So he's providing a PowerShell script that automates Veeam agent upgrades, and he's doing this through Veeam Service Provider Console API. And I can see Johan says in the comments that you can achieve the same using Veeam Backup and Replication REST API. I'm very curious on your opinions. Have you tried this? What do you think?
I'm not. I'm not a service provider. I'm in the customer realm, so I don't really dive into APIs too much, and I don't have a need for that. Tyler? What about you? Regardless, I think this is a good idea because there's been a few posts from community members on the hub about pain point of scheduling, automating scheduling.
Right.
Agent upgrades or installs if it's not on there. So this is a good script regardless. But Tyler, what do you got for that?
Yeah, like as a service provider, do use the Veeam Service Provider Console. Yeah, it's great to see some of these scripts coming out around more of the automation around doing some of these tasks, because clicking through every one of your customers and upgrading them manually is a bit of a pain. So the fact that he's outlined a really handy little PowerShell script here to go through and do that is great. And like he's targeted the agent backups, and Veeam Service Provider Console can also upgrade your VBR servers for any of your managed customers that you're taking care of. So you can modify the script even to go and upgrade the VBR servers themselves, which is phenomenal. I mean, like more scripting, more automation makes our life easier. Ideally, makes everything easier and more straightforward. So I like to see this, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of these kind of scripts coming out around Service Provider Console, and general making a few of the pain points disappear.
Yeah, totally. And as you said, this actually helps you and saves you tons of time. And I like his comment in here, mainly because I'm lazy. So yeah, I guess everyone thinks the same, right? It's just like so many things to do because we were talking before about it, and limited time. So it's always good to automate as much as you can. And, like, it's also like, let's be honest, sometimes it's just like boring to just keep on doing the same things on a manual basis. So having some like a script that helps you automate those tasks is really, really helpful. So I'm always very grateful when I see new posts in this section. The script library, we're going to talk about it in a moment because now it's called Yara and Script Library. It's not anymore just Script Library. But yeah, really good information that you shared with us, Tyler, and thank you for your point of view as well, Shane. So yeah, talking about the script library, as you can see, our script library is not anymore just script library, but we have Yara and script library. And like, as you can see in here, Rick already created some content around Yara rules. For the start, we have a post that covers Yara script library supportability. So if you want to know more on that, I really would invite you. It's really short in here, but I would invite you to read it all. And then, there is also a link that will take you in here in this article that would actually take you to the Yara scan for scan backup. If you want more information on this, you can go investigate. There are like Yara documentation. There is like a also like how Yara scan works and the scan results. So there's a lot of good information on Yara rules in here. And then if we go further, moving further in here, Rick even created how to install a Yara rule with Veeam. And he's explaining why we changed it to Yara and script library. He's also going through a demo using this article that is like the featured Yara rule top 10 ransomware threats. He's basically talking about the V12 one. That has this feature, the Yara scanning, and then he's also sharing an attachment that you can use it for the purpose of that demo. He's even going further with that. So he says like, okay, I created a public tag. So if you want to share anything like Yara related, use this tag because it's easier for the other users to find all Yara content. So yeah, all this is really great information, like what do you think about it, these guys, the Yara rules, this new feature that we have, and Yara rules in general? Have you used it? Well, what are your thoughts?
I haven't used it yet first. I actually haven't even upgraded it yet, but obviously have seen some posts and discussions on it. This is amazing. This is one of the amazing feature enhancements that came out with V12.1. And I think as the community, customers, service providers, consultants, anybody who uses Veeam, as they get more accustomed with 12.1 and Yara rules in general, this is really, I think, going to take off. This area of the hub is really going to probably explode. So I think like having the feature tag is going to be really beneficial. And I also watched Rick's video, really short video, but really informative. There's some, I don't want to say, well, yeah, they are caveats, I think, at least one anyway, of using it. And it's with the location of the scan feature is right next to delete from disk. When you're scanning, when you choose to scan from backups, that maybe need to have something looked into, because there could be some problems with that. But also, I think the date is a little confusing. But again, once the people start using it, you just the start to date is from today, not like in the past. Whereas the end date is where you want to go back to. So that kind of makes a little sense. And Rick clarifies those a little bit as well. But I actually really like this whole change, and I'm really excited to see how well, and hopefully I don't really have to use Yara in my environment, but if I have to, this is a good tool to use in moving forward. What do you think, Tyler?
Yeah, I like your points there, Shane. I think you hit the nail on the head with a few of them. First off, like the script library itself, I think that's phenomenal. That's a great spot for the community to share their scripts, and you have to be a little brave to do that, because you're writing something that maybe is very specific to your environment, and then you're sharing it with the world. It becomes kind of a little bit of your art that you're sharing, and it can get torn apart sometimes. So it's nice to share, and you just got to be brave, right? Get your scripts out there, let other people help, and you'll see that people will tweak them a bit for you. And you get some good collaboration on the community hub. So I'm really excited about that kind of script library, kind of growing and blossoming over time. And the Yara rules themselves, I mean, this is phenomenal. I've fought ransomware in the past, and without this kind of thing, you're going, which restore point is going to be a clean restore point in the past to find what I can actually restore from. Where can I recover this VM to a point where I'm not going to just be reinfected in another day? Because as ransomware works, I mean, a lot of times it takes days to fully encrypt everything. So you think you're good on day 3, but you need to go back 10 days, right? Because everything is still being encrypted. You could just restore an already encrypted backup, right? So I love the Yara rules. I loved going through that. I definitely do need to throw some more testing at it. Get some files, get some VMs that are, throw some example files on them and run through the Yara. I think, I kind of agree with Shane. The start and end point is a little confusing, but when you hear Rick's explanation of it, you're starting today and trying to find the end point in the past where you have a clean file. I think that's it makes sense. Might not be as intuitive, but I think once you run through it a bit, you're going to be just fine. So I'm excited to see more of the R rules, and I like that the one script showed how to automate and go through multiple Yara rules at a time. Is great.
Yeah, thank you. Really valid points. And I think as as we are going to use it more and people are going to use more, I think you both mentioned that this is going to grow and we're going to have so many good posts about it and so many tips and tricks on how to use it, maybe in ways that we haven't even thought about. So that's gonna be all good. And thank you, Shane, for sharing as well some feedback, some good criticism in there that can help as well on improving. So Rick, you heard Shane. So yeah, that's all good. Great thoughts in there. Thank you for sharing all that with us. And because we already kind of broke the rules, because this is not just one article, it's just like a bunch of them. I suggest we go further and break it more, because it just makes sense to mention this article from Stephen. Stephen said, I couldn't resist creating another script for the community, like Yara ready, apparently. And, I could not resist not sharing it with the community. So let's just go over it in here. What is he trying to do? He wrote like a PowerShell script that helps us add more than one Yara rule file to the scan process without having to click many times in the UI. And as per documentation, you can only add one Yara rule file to the scan process. So yes, as we were saying, saving time, sometimes, as we said, it can just be tedious to just go over it manually. So this is a really good improvement. He says in here, this is just the start, guys. Bear with me. I'm going to come back with more features on that. I will add to the script soon. So this is great. What do you think about it?
Well, I like the fact that he added the ability to select multiples. Maybe you don't have necessarily something going on in your environment where you need to check just, hey, we need to look out for this particular piece of malware, but maybe it's maybe a quarterly process policy that you need to implement or go through, and you want to scan some of your backups to make sure they're clean. You want to do that against multiples, not necessarily one. And so Steve provides that here, and I think it's great. And it just leads to the point that maybe there needs to be possibly a feature enhancement within Veeam. What do you think, Tyler?
Yeah, I agree. I like this, and kind of alluded to it earlier. Having the script to go through and scan multiple Yara rules at once is huge when you're fighting ransomware, because you don't know what you got in your environment. You don't know where it came from. You can build some custom Yara rules to find other, you know, areas where that one ransomware may, that one rule will catch that ransomware. But what about a few of the tertiary things that come along with it? So building this kind of thing to scan multiple is phenomenal. I really appreciate Steve's putting this out there. I'll definitely be using this.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, thank you, Stephen. Please share with us whatever other features you're gonna add to this script. And yeah, we are also waiting the blog post for why we should not use the other, because he says like you can use the so-called index file, but that can create problems. So we are really interested in finding out why that creates problems. So write that blog as well. Now I'm challenging you, Steve, as you can see. I always like to challenge our community members to bring more good content. So yeah, Steve, we are waiting. You have like already a bunch of blogs pending. So yeah, no, thank you for that, Steve. And thank you guys for commenting on that. Yeah, I agree. It's really, really great that he created this PowerShell script for us. And now we are going to move further on with the special department news. We only have two this time, and one of them is one Vim user group, Africa French speaking Vim user group led by Fortuné, and he's gonna have a guest, Benjamin, who's a support engineer team lead at Next In Solutions, and they are going to talk about version 12.1, everything new. So that's gonna be a very good show. This is gonna happen on the 4th of January. We are mentioning it now because, as we said, this is our last episode of 2023. So we want to make sure people know about it. It's going to be 12:30 p.m. Eastern European Standard Time. So you can just go here. I already said I am attending, but it should be a button with register. Just go here and register if you haven't done so. We are going to also promote it, and hopefully we're going to have a lot of people joining it because it's worth it. And yeah, I know, Tyler, you had the Vim User Group Canada virtual event a few weeks ago, and you had the really good attendance as well. You had a lot of guests, right?
Yeah, it was a great event. Really appreciate everybody coming out. And yeah, like you said, Maddie, the VUG events, they're worth it. You get a lot of information, and it's all free. Like, hey, you can just join and learn. Tell your boss, hey, I'm attending some learning, and you don't even have to pay for it. Your boss is happy, you're happy. It's a win-win for everybody. And already VUG Canada, we're hoping to get another event sometime in early next year. I'm already talking to a couple people about a few ideas we have. So stay tuned. No, hard details yet, but stay tuned. We're hoping to get some more out there and, maybe get an in-person event or two going.
Yeah, that would be great as well. We are in talks for that as well. So yeah, many great things are coming for the Vim user group. So looking forward to it. And the second special department news is related to actually one of the newest groups that we created, and that's the Vim Hands-on Labs. And I would like to invite everyone, like to join if you haven't done so. Like, what is this initiative? What is the Hands-on Labs initiative? Basically, a web-based experience that allows everyone to test drive Vim technologies using a simple web browser on any device. So this is really great, and you do that for free. How amazing is that? And then you have two links in here. I'm going to just open it for you. One is like actually for the Pro Partner Network. The other one, as you can see, it asks for credentials. The other one, I should have just opened it like in a new tab. So the other one is basically for end customers, users, so everyone can join it. You have here a lot of interesting information. You can do the Veeam data platform, you can do Kubernetes, you can do so many great things in here. So just there's no reason not to do it, basically. It's really great tool. And then also I wanted to, you might ask, like, even you guys, you might just be like, why do we actually need this group? But I think like all the other things that, like when we are creating a group, the purpose of it is actually to connect people, to connect users, to create engagement, to have people like, if they have any questions, to come here, to have a place, a centralized place where they can, communicate with other people, to the people that are in charge of this project. Like this is really important because as you can see here, it's just like you also have some contact names that can be very useful, like you want to address something like an improvement or an issue or anything like that. You just have here like, okay, who are the people that are Europe, EMEA area? Who are the people in Americas, Asia, Pacific? And then you can just go and write directly to them, or you just write in here, they're going to get back to you. So I think this is a really great initiative. And if you want to find out more on it, Chan wrote here an interesting introduction to this group. So more information in here. Just wanted to ask you guys, are you part of this? Have you tried it? What's your opinion on it?
I actually didn't know about this group. I didn't even know when it got created. I
Well,
am a
last
member of
week, so that's why.
Yeah, I just became a member of it today, though. So I used the hands-on labs at VeeamON this past year, and they're great, in my opinion. I've taken hands-on labs through other vendors, and they can tend to be a little long. Veeam's isn't. They're long enough to get the point across, but not overextending time. And especially when you're at a conference, or even in general. I mean, you don't want them to be too drawn out. You just get bored with it, to be honest with you. So I actually really like them. I'm a huge advocate for training and learning, and so this is very highly beneficial, I think, to the hub.
That's great. Great feedback.
Yeah, I love hands-on labs. I mean, I've used them, like Shane said, through other vendors. I've used the Veeam hands-on labs through the Pro Partner before. I love that we have now a new community group here that we can join and share our feedback on. But hands-on labs are invaluable because you can go through the script and you can learn everything that the hands-on labs show you, which is an amazing learning opportunity. Because I'm a hands-on learner. Reading the textbook, reading the documentation is one thing, but actually being able to get your hands on the product and seeing how it works and understanding a bit of the fundamentals there is, next to nothing for me, right? Like there is no better way to get some training than doing that. And so getting these hands-on labs through Veeam, it's a great way. And even you can go off script. Like you got the script there for the hands-on lab, but you want to do something different that the hands-on lab doesn't show, but it has the whole infrastructure there for you. Go off script, break it, whatever. It doesn't matter. It gets burnt down at the end of the day and rebuilt the next time you want to do it. So you want to try what happens if I change this feature? Try it. The hands-on labs are a fantastic way of doing that. I've done that with so many different vendors in the past. I'm really excited to see Veeam expand upon this more.
This is great. Thank you. Thank you for all this feedback. Like it's good to hear all this feedback from community members. We haven't received it. I didn't know how community members are going to take this new group, but I'm happy to hear it's taken so well. And I totally agree. I'm also the kind of person that, okay, I read, it's good. I'm learning like in theory, but I have to actually do it myself in order to understand the process, to understand how that works. That's the best way to learn from my experience. And these hands-on labs definitely offers that. So yeah, great stuff. So thank you, Chan. Thank you, the guys that came up with this initiative. All awesome. So yeah, let me say that this week, we are not going to have any Who's New section, uh, but we're going to get back with probably a big number in the second week of January when we are going to restart the recap show. We are taking a break for the next 2 weeks. Most of the people are going to be on vacation. Everyone deserves, like to just get some rest and come fresh in January with new forces. And we all going to do that. So I don't know, any closing thoughts on your side, guys?
No, I'm just ready to, not for me. I'm getting ready to be on break for a couple weeks. I'm ready to unwind for the next couple weeks and just take some time away and just recharge my batteries. Kind of a cliche line. I don't know that I ever like it, but it's true for me this time. I really need to recharge and just kind of unwind and pull away from things for a little while just to get myself recentered and reset for the upcoming year. What about you, Tyler?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Christmas break too. I mean, all the cliches are relevant, but yeah, it's just for me, Christmas is such a great time to reconnect with friends and family, and I get to see my brother who I haven't seen in a few years. We're going to do that this Christmas, so for me, it's a very special Christmas, and I hope all our viewers out there are having a wonderful Christmas with their friends and family and whoever they find special to spend the holidays with.
Yeah,
Awesome.
absolutely. Yeah, that's great. I think everyone should do that, as I mentioned it. And I'm going to take the opportunity to say Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to everyone. And same to both of you, Tyler, Shane. Thank you for being with me today. It was a very good show, really great opinions. And we'll see everyone, as I mentioned, back in January, second week with another special edition. I'm not going to say it, but it's going to be another special edition. So thank you all. Have a great weekend ahead.
You too, and Merry Christmas, everyone.
Take care. Thanks for having us, Maddie.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Maddie.
guys. Thank you.